What's going on, guys? It's your boy Slim Reacts. I'm back in the cut with another so fresh and so clean new video. And today's video, we're gonna be ranking an MBTA commuter rail rolling stock. Now, I've ranked the MBTA lines before, but not like the rolling stock right here. So I don't know why I'm getting ads right here. First of all, like I should not be getting ads right now. Hold on. Okay, whatever. Forget about it. So, hey, we're gonna be ranking. Let's start with the locomotives here, and then we're gonna be ranking the cars. First up, we have the EMD F40PH, the Screamers. Now I don't think I ever got to see one of these in person. They retired them in like 2015. But yeah, these are legendary. These are S tier. These are the first engines that MBTA bought when they were created. So S tier. I mean, come on. These original F40s. They even had some Amtrak F40s in like 2016 that they bought. They leased. So hey, man, these are S tier locomotives where nothing much needs to be said. The iconic, you know, what I'm saying, HEP running at 900 RPMs. I might throw a clip in here to show you guys. But yeah, that's S tier. No discussions. Next up, we have the 2C F40s. Now, these came in originally this stripe paint scheme, and then when they got rebuilt in like the early 2000s, mid 2000s, they received a lightning bolt. These were my childhood, obviously. Like I used to see these all the time, you know, on the Needham line. So for that reason, man, I'm gonna throw these in A tier. They're not quite S tier, but they're A tier. They're like top 2 best MBTA locomotives. These were workhorses. These things used to pull like 9-car sets in like the early 2000s, late 90s, 7-car sets up until like the early 2010s until we got the HSPs. So these things were doing all the dirty work. They're not much different than obviously what we have next year, which is the 3C F40. They mainly received, you know, refurbished engines and new generators. The generators are more louder. I might throw a comparison up here. But yeah, these 3C F40s have louder HEP engines, and I like the 3Cs slightly better. They're perfect. Like when you think of a rebuild, like these are perfect. They're not as reliable as the 2Cs, but like they have great horns. You know, they didn't fuck it up. You know, so for that, I'm gonna throw the 3C F40s B tier or A tier, but behind the 2Cs. Next up, we have the GP40s. Again, these were my childhood seeing these running up and down the Needham line. They had the HEP generators, like before they got rebuilt, were like just amazing. They sound like New Jersey Transit's HEP on the GP40s that they have. But after the rebuilds, they don't sound as musical, if you will. But yeah, the rebuilds though. If we're talking about the OG GP40s, these are like A tier right here. But the rebuilds, which are the MC-3s, they're not as reliable. Like the Rochester rebuilds, like we have like 1137, 1125, 1117, 1138, 1129, 1130. Yeah, these are not as reliable as the original ones. There's no more original ones left. 1127 was the last one to go, and luckily I got to experience it before they, you know, sent it to the shop. It had the original bell. It was the last non-rebuild. So yeah, for that reason, it's gonna go in A tier. MP36, these were like, I would see these like more in like late 2010, so like 2019. Yeah, in 2021 they like sent them to MPI for rebuilding, or Erie. They're still stored there. They haven't even started on them. They've been there for a couple years, sitting like in a black tarp. These were reliable. I mean, we received these from Utah Transit because they had a surplus in 010 and 011. Yeah, these used to pull like pretty long trains. You know, I like them. You know, they have loud horns. They're nice. I'm gonna throw the MP36s though on B tier just because it's like an average locomotive, but it'll sit at the top of B tier. Next up, we have the HSP 46. Now these things are garbage. Like these are terrible. Like they always break down. They always have mechanical issues. I experienced one myself. I remember I had to get off at Forest Hills recently because an HSP 46 traction, it was having traction issues. It wouldn't go over 20 miles per hour. But nonetheless, they have good horns. The engines sound amazing when they go notch 8. Sounds like a jet engine, like a jet dryer. But yeah, man. So HSPs are gonna go in B tier. Um, yeah, I'm gonna keep it like this. I think the MP36s are slightly better, but yeah, I mean the Gevo engines of these, the traction motor sounds. Not to mention the F40 traction sounds when they go high speed. Just sound amazing. And then these last two are like mostly work engines. So we have 3247, which is a GP40, just regular GP40. I don't know where this is at. This is pretty, average locomotive. So I'll throw it in B tier. It usually does like the work mass dot, like stone trains and whatnot, for like the rails and stuff. So it's calm. And then next up we have which one of these recently we got back, which is the genset. This hasn't been running for the past couple weeks, but before that it was running for a little bit when it came back into service. Again, these would pull breakdown trains. This used to be the geometry trains, and this would just run the Reedville switcher. But yeah, this is I'll throw this in B tier. I mean GP40. I think it's more iconic actually than GP40. Yeah, they had two of these 3248 and 3249. I think they're at BET right now, but yeah, there's my ranking of the locomotives. I used the MBTA roster transit history, so they had 8 listed. Obviously, I'm missing the FP10s and stuff like that, but I think this is good for now. If I were to put the FP10s though, which I should have put them on here, I don't know why I didn't. I mean, you can put the RDCs in there, but the FP10s would probably be like a solid A tier. I probably put them in front of the 3CF40, in between the GP40, and then the RDCs would probably be top of A tier, probably, because those were inherited. I don't think MBTA purchased those, but correct me if I'm wrong. Next up, we have the coaches here. So we have the 200 series, which have this pink seats right here, like the Rotom seats. So the 200 series, these I used to see on the Needham line a bunch, like before COVID. And yeah, these are all exclusively up north now, except for the Cape Flyer trains. I like these. These are my favorite. Actually, no, scratch that. My favorite coaches are the 500 series Messerschmitt ones with like the blue seats. There's only like 5 in service. On the north side, there's like 1 or 2 that are on a set. The rest are converted into office cars. So yeah, but thankfully I got to ride on one of those. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. So the 200 series, these were the original coaches MBTA purchased. These were built all the way back in 1969 by Pullman Standard, and they got rebuilt in 1996 by Emirail to look, what's gonna call it, because they were old, so they got rebuilt. They used to be X 300 series cars and 1300 cab cars, and they rebuilt them into these 200 series. So these, I'm gonna throw these in. I like this, so I'm gonna throw these in A tier. You know what I'm saying? Next up, we got the 300 series slash 600 series. I'm gonna combine these. They're pretty much the exact same thing, built by Bombardier. Or no, the 600s are built by Bombardier, and the other ones are built by, I want to say Pullman, but whatever. They're essentially the same thing. They look like this. They have the wooden seats, the wooden floors, wooden panels, the red and blue seats. They look like Metro North's M3s on the inside. These were built in like the 80s or whatever, 90s. These are, I mean, workhorses. These things are, honestly, they're better than the 200s. Like, these things are iconic. Like, they've been running for 50 years, so they have a lot of flat spots, though. That's the only problem with these. They're very loud. They have a lot of flat spots, and the seats are very uncomfortable. It depends. You either get a really hard seat or a soft seat. There's no in between. Next up, Messerschmitt. I'm gonna keep these up here, top of A tier. I like these. You know what I'm saying? The interior's very spacious. They have bathrooms on all of them, which is the only single level cars to have bathrooms. Even the control cars, cab cars, had bathrooms, which is crazy. So yeah, Messerschmitt's going top of A for me. Do I want to put anything S tier? I mean, you could put probably these S tier just because they're iconic right here. So I'm gonna put those there. Next up, we have the 700 series. There's two different ones: pre-rebuild and post-rebuild. Pre-rebuild, these were iconic. These were everywhere. These are a solid A tier. I'm gonna leave these here. But the post-rebuild ones are slightly better. They have obviously the information displays, inside, and on the outside the destination boards. Same thing, just with to look like the Rotoms. Next up, we have the original batch of Rotoms. These are A tier for me. These are like better than the Messerschmitt. Honestly, yeah, these were revolutionary when they came out. Like first new bit of technology that the MBTA got, if that makes sense. Technology. Um, yeah, these are goaded. I think they're perfect. They're like the perfect out of all the buy levels. These are the perfect ones. The new Rotoms, however, which we have next, which are the new batch that were delivered in 2022. These ones are the same thing. They're just newer. They have like LED lighting inside. That's pretty much it. They're the exact same thing. The doors are slightly different. It's not just a singular window. It's like a top part of a window, and then the bottom half is the window. I remember riding on one of these in 2023, like October. It was like my first time riding on it, and these are really quiet. They're smooth. So I'm gonna put these here, slightly behind the original batch of Rotoms because the original ones are more iconic in a sense. They're broken in, but the new ones aren't broken in yet. So yeah, they're still brand new, fresh and clean. Next, we have the 900s. So you see these up north mostly at the front of trains because these have bathrooms. The 800s have bathrooms as well. Um, these are occasionally you'll see them south, but most of them are up north at the front of the consist. These were built in like the mid 2000s by Kawasaki. Um, they're essentially the same thing as the 700s, just they have a bathroom. Um, so they're all right. I mean, these are the most uncomfortable ones because these are, I mean, not uncomfortable. They're just loud. They're very loud. They have no insulation. You can hear the tracks sometimes, and it's not really a quiet ride. These need to be either rebuilt or I don't think it's even worth rebuilding them. I think we should just send them, scrap them. But if the MBTA rebuilds them, good. But these will go probably right here just because they have a bathroom that brings it up a notch. Um, yeah, now we have the control cars. So let's start in numerical order here. So let's start with the 1500s. The Messerschmitts. These I used to see these run on the Niederrhein all the time until COVID hit. They slowly started phasing them out. They moved them up north until 2023 when the last one was in service. Um, I remember seeing one of these in 2023 in like April. It's like right before they retired. It was like trailing on a train, leaving North Station. I have a picture. I took a picture. Like me and my friend were taking pictures, and this was in the background of it. But yeah, these are iconic. They have good horns, good bells. So I'm gonna put these in um, probably like right here. Next up, we have the 1600s. These were retired in 2024. Thankfully, I got to see them in action. These are the originals right here. I mean, these actually no, this 1300s were, but whatever. These are iconic MBTA workhorses. Just they're legendary. I wish they came to Train Sim World, but they didn't. They didn't even model it. So, but they got the sounds. So this is gonna go above the 1500s right here. This is honestly in terms of cab cars, this is an S tier, bro. I'm gonna lie. This is an S tier right here. Like just hands down. I'm gonna move this down here. Though I'll move this like right here. Like this. Next up, we have the 1700 Kawasaki's now pre-rebuild. If I had to rank these would be like top of A tier. But post-rebuild, where they have the E-bells and look like the Rotoms, they're kind of mid. These are all exclusively on the north side, pretty much. Um, as I'm filming this video, there's some south. There's like one or two south, but they're trailing units. But yeah, so if we're ranking them on pre-rebuilds, these are like S tier. So these are like right here, or right here. But post rebuild with like the e-bells and stuff, they'd probably be like closer to like right here, behind the Messerschmitts. We have the original Rotoms right here, the original batch. These probably would go like right here. I mean, they're cool. And then the newer batch, it's the same thing, just you have a refurbished gram rate. They got refurbished e-bells, so they sound a little different. LED lighting. The doors are slightly different. It's the exact same thing, basically. Yeah, it's just LED signs, LED lighting, basically, is only the difference. But these are not better than the original Rotoms. So I'm gonna put those here. And there you have it. There's my final ranking of MBTA rolling stock according to the roster transit history. S tier, we have the F40 and the CTC 1B. These are easily S tier. Come on. And then A tier, these are respectable. You have the 2010s, late 2000s, early 2010s workhorses. You have these, which are their first bi-level cars. The 3 CF40s, which are pretty solid. Then you have the single levels here, the Rotoms. And then you have the Messerschmitts in between these, the Rotoms here. And then you have the 500 series, 200 series, 900s, 700s. These are pretty basic. And then down here you have some of these. Now, honestly, I might move this here. Keep this here. I think that's fair. This is my final ranking right here. What do you guys think? MBTA rolling stock, commuter rail rolling stock. Let me know down below in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'm Slim Reacts, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.